Hi, I'm Jim Clements of Rancho Santa Margarita with Boy Scout Troop 727, and I'm here to show you how to properly roll and stow your REI Half Dome 2 tent. Now, it's very important that you do a certain process because you got to get it back in the bag. And there's nothing worse than trying to get either your sleeping bag back in the bag it came in or your tent. And we want to make sure it gets back in the bag because the bag is only so big. So we got to get this big old tent in this bag the same way every single time and take care of your bag. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing we want to do, get our stake bag, and let's go ahead and pull up our stakes. Now the cool thing about the REI Half Dome 2 tent, it's freestanding. You really don't need stakes at all. Now I like to put my stakes in my vestibule so I don't have them blowing around with the wind. But once I get my gear in there, unless it's a really big wind, it's not going anywhere. So I don't put stakes in the corners unless absolutely necessary. So let me pull up my two sets of stakes here. One for this vestibule, and one for the back vestibule. So now that I've got my stakes done, go ahead and put them in my bag so I have them every time. I don't want to lay them on the ground. And I'm just going to tie an overhand knot, tie that bag shut, set it aside, we're good to go. Now, next step we want to do is go ahead and do our rain fly. So let's go ahead and get the rain fly. Well, key here, you want to go ahead and flip it up. So let's unhook it from all four corners. Get the rain fly so it's totally accessible. And then what we're going to do is we're going to flip one vestibule up and over. So it's on the middle. And we want to dress it up so it's lays nice and neat all along the side. Flip the other side up and over. Now remember, never put your tent away wet. Now, we may have to leave camp with a wet tent, but you want to go home and set it back up and let it dry. So again, we're going to dress it so it's nice and straight. And then what we're going to want to do again, now we're going to unhook our vestibule from our tent. We get that unhooked. And we fold that to the middle. Again, we dress it up nicely. I'll come around and do the other side. So we have it's about that wide, nice and done. So I put my hand in the middle. And all I do is I flip the top over, dress my rain fly, looks pretty decent shape. I'm just going to lay that aside because we're going to use it later. And I'll go inside our roll. Now the next thing you want to do is we want to go ahead and get all the dirt out of our tent. Now the cool thing about the REI Half Dome 2 tent is it's very light and it stays together. So I'm going to unzip my tent. Because we don't want to take our tent home with any dirt in it. All I'm going to do is pick up my tent and shake it out. Now I've got all the junk out of my tent that I had there. I want to zip it back up. Now I'm ready to go ahead and pack it up. So first thing I want to do is I want to unhook all the ones along the outside ribs. So unhook all of those. Doesn't have to happen in particular order, just get them unhooked. Then I want to go ahead and do my outer portions of the center tent, leaving the center connected. Now what this allows me to do is now I can go ahead and I can fold my tent in properly. So I'll unhook the center. I like to grab the two that are on the outside, up on the top, and just fold my tent over. Now my tent's in a nice rectangular shape, the shape it was when I took it out, and this is the tricky part. Now I have to unhook my tent poles, and this is an eye hazard. If you unhook one side, it could shoot your tent out, and now you have to start all over. So I like to go ahead and just put my foot on the edge of the tent I use my fingers, I run it down the pole and just push off the items and lift up gently. Same thing on this side, put my finger down, push off the hooks off the bottom, the eyelets. Do the same thing on this side. Off the eyelets. There we go. Now my tent's ready. Now we want to put our poles away. Don't leave the poles on the ground because somebody will step on them and then they'll be bent and you won't be able to do it. So let's go ahead and take our poles apart. We take the center one out. I'll lay the other two sides down. Center one, just take it apart. Good to go. Lay it aside. Now what's nice about these is I like to take the middle, have it up in the front, and we'll step back a little bit. I just pull out one side, put the two together. Now I can take the two sides, I can pull them, fold it, pull them, fold it, pull them, fold it. And now I have it's nice and apart. Now if you give it just a little twist, kind of roll it nice and tight. Lay it with my center pole, and we do the same with the other side. There we go. Now I have all my poles, but notice these are the top hooked areas here. I have the area where it goes across the top. I like to put those opposing in my bag. And if I do that, and I just give it a little twist, I get a nice little compartmentalized set of poles. So let's go ahead and put those in my pole bag. Let's fit in real nice, close it up, zip it down, set it aside. Now we need to fold the tent. Think about the tents. Most tents, you can do those in thirds. So I like to fold them in thirds. So I'm going to take one side, leaving my footprint on the ground, and just fold it in a third. And then the other third will come on top of it. Leave my footprint on the ground. Now you're going to notice what's cool about this. Check this out. You'll notice that the stakes fit in that bag, and your stakes, if this is done right, your tent is a little bit shorter than your stakes. Okay, so we're not quite ready yet. So we had a rain fly earlier. We take our rain fly, and we just place that in the middle of our tent. Doesn't matter where, just lay it on your tent. Now, we'll make sure everything's nice compartment. Now I like to put my tent poles on the outside of my backpack, so I'm going to put them in last. But for this demonstration, if you're just packing your tent away and you're not going to go backpacking for a while, just car camping, I'm going to lay my poles in the middle. I'm going to take my tent stakes, lay them in there too, roll my tent up over it. Notice I'm not rolling my footprint. I'm just going to roll it up. Keep tucking it in, keep the pressure on it because you want to get the air out. I also like to brush it as I go. It gets all the dirt out, keeps the wrinkles out. Now if you do this every single time, your tent will last you a very, very long time. So we get to the end. Keeping everything in the width of your tent poles. Roll the last bit of air out of it. Look at that, nice and compact. It's going to fit perfectly there. So I lay it on top of my bag. Now I got to do my footprint. So basically the footprint, make sure it's not wet as well. Shake it off, just like a bed sheet at home. And I know all you guys fold your bed sheets all the time. So we go ahead and just get it squared off, fold it in half, fold it in half again. Not a big deal. Fold it in half, getting all the air out of it. Fold it in half again. Now, what I like to do with it, take my tent and just kind of wrap it around my tent. Take it, one more wrap. So now I have this nice package. Check this out. So there's my bag, easily. Got your hooks on the outside open. Just put it around the outside. Feed it in. Look at that. Everything, one nice compartment. Give it a little tug on your tie downs. Ready to go. So, one easy way to sit there and pack up your REI half dome tent. If you're going backpacking and you're sharing your tent with your buddy, then maybe one of you carries the fly and the footprint, the other one carries the poles and the internal tent itself. You kind of share the weight. That being said, you'll pack it totally different and you'll roll it up totally different. So again, see you on the trail. Have a great day.